boy Stony, aka Stony's World, back with another episode of whatever we're calling this thing here. And last time I asked y'all what y'all wanted to see, y'all told me a video about unique drum bounces and patterns. So that's what we're gonna get into today. I'm gonna break down a couple of my favorite ways to get unique bounces out of my drums when I cook my beats up. So let's get into it. So you know what, first I'm gonna pull up an example because I actually did a kind of crazy one yesterday, and then we'll do one from scratch so I can show you kind of how to execute it yourself. Oh, I have to plug my hard drive in. So this is a beat that I did yesterday with my boy McCoy, and one way that you can make unique drum bounces is you can use multiple different 808s for one pattern and kind of have them call and respond to each other. So for this one, we actually used 4 different 808s. So let's listen and see how that sounds. As you can see, all those different 808s in there gave it crazy, unreal bounce. I mean, just all them bouncing back and forth like that just made it real unique, as opposed to us just doing one 808, just one sound all the way through. And like that whole pattern, it's all on the same note. Like it's all, every 808 is on B. Like it doesn't change, and it still sounds like very unique. You know what I mean? So it definitely helps for stuff like that, like loops and beats like that, where the root note doesn't really change, so it doesn't get boring. You know what I mean? Let's go from scratch, and I can show you some other ways, including that. So obviously you already know we can do multiple 808s, right? Cool. Let's just start out with that. I'm not even gonna do any melodies here. We're just gonna do strictly drums for this. Let's just pick a couple cool 808s. I like that one. Alright, we'll try that one too. Also, one thing that you have to do whenever you do multiple 808s like this, you have to go into each individual one and find this wrench tool over here and see what it's cut by. And you have to make sure that they're all cut by the same thing, so that whenever one comes in, the other ones stop and they don't run into each other and bleed and get all muddy. And that's for any time you have more than one instance of like bass that are like transitioning with each other. Like if you had a sub bass in your intro and then it drops out and your 808 comes in, like you'd have to cut those to the same number too, so that they don't clash like that. The way that you can give your stuff like unique bounces, right? So let's say, boom, we're gonna do our clap and stuff, right? So instead of just doing this one clap all the way through, let's get a couple different ones. Like let's take a clap. Let's get a snare. So instead of just having like the clap hitting every time, right, you could like change it up. You could have a clap hit one time and then do like a snare next. You know, it just gives it a little bit of cool deviation. Alright, cool. So that's just like a little basic, clap snare pattern. Let's get into some hats now too. So like this, same thing with the hi-hats. Like take a couple and like just mix them up. So like, already we're starting to get kind of like a cool, unique, different bounce together. Just solely off of our choice of sound selection. melody behind this just to make it maybe make a little bit more sense in context for you guys. That's cool. Another cool thing that you can do that I sometimes try to do is put like some effects on my 808s. So like let's take this one, right? Let's put like Shaper Box on it. I mean, you may you may have Shaper Box, you may not. If you don't, I'm sure you have some type of effects plugin. You should just try and experiment with stuff because you never know what might work. Just add like a little tape stop to that one. Like here, let's just try to put it on another one of them. Let's just see, why not? That's kind of crazy. I mean, it might be a little OD, but it's kind of crazy. That might be something that catches a rapper's ear. That might be like the difference in what made somebody jump on a beat or not jump on a beat. Let's try to put like Portal on it. I like to experiment. I think that's just the biggest thing. You just gotta keep experimenting with everything. Alright, cool. Let's get into some more ways to make your unique or your beat unique. Just as far as like laying it out, automation is definitely a great way to get unique drops and stuff like that. A lot of the times with more simple beats and stuff like that, I try to be more minimal and not do like a ton of drops and try to kind of leave that up to the engineer's discretion. But like I said, whenever you're sending beats out and artists are hearing your beats, you do want like ear candy stuff that's gonna catch people and like make them want to gravitate towards your beats. So it never hurts to just try to throw cool stuff in here and there. Let's just start with something small. We're gonna do like filter. So to create automation clips, right? You just add whatever plugin you're trying to automate, right? For here, we're gonna do the EQ. Open it, set it however you want it. Come over to the right side of your plugin, right click this wheel, hit create automation clip, and then in your playlist, here will be your automation channel. And then you can just kind of draw it in however you want to draw it in. Like whatever effects plugins you have, like I say, literally just go through them and just try automating some different presets on them. That added some cool, interesting drops, parts, whatever. You can also throw in some like effects like risers that you can drag in, time stretch in your playlist. Let's take this riser. Actually, this is another thing I can tell you guys real quick. If you don't, anytime you're trying to use something like in your playlist, the way to get it on beat is just drag it in, boom, 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 double click it, come up here, right here. I may have said this before, I don't know, but I'm going to reiterate on it because it's important, and I do a lot of playlist stuff. Come up here to mode, take it to stretch it until it's at an even increment of 2, 4, 8 bars, whatever it is that you're trying to get it to be. Alright, let's add like another one in our beginning. One little like pad synth. Maybe we'll even keep it underneath the other one, right? Boom. we pitch it up an octave. So that gave us a little bit more texture, right? And yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty, pretty cool, creative, unique bounce there. And I mean, just practice. Like, there's a million different ways that you can do this. I mean, I could have did it, like I said, a million different ways. This is just how this one came out. But like I always say, it just comes down to just experimenting and just trying stuff. It's like going to the gym when you're an athlete. You got to go every day. You got to put in the hours. Same thing with making beats, making loops, doing anything. You just have to be consistent, and you have to put that time in. All right, cool. Well, yeah, that's my little breakdown on doing unique drums and patterns. And yeah, as always, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Drop me some comments. Let me know what else you guys want to see for next time. And that's all. Big Stoney out.